Hey y'all, welcome to the Art Life video blog, day 86. I'm Jonny Cool, Stargazer.
My name's Jacob Wolf. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, Jacob.
Johnny's the man. He's cool as hell, which, I mean, he's got a name for a reason, right?
Yeah, name was given to me too.
You didn't make it yourself.
I wasn't cool enough to make up my own name back then.
Right on. So what was the origination from that? Who gave you that name?
There's this guy named Eric Duvachel, and I met him when I was a custodian at Nike. Well, first, okay, I used to draw, like, back in the store, I used to draw characters of myself. Super Johnny, Super John, all types of versions of myself. So there was a choice. I'm like, okay, I was at this office job, and I had 4 Johnnies to pick from. And I wound up selecting Jonny Cool. And I would just always draw him as a cartoon character. And then, like, so later, this guy named Eric Duvachel, he's an artist himself, but he told me, he was like, dude, you should be, like, you're Jonny Cool. Like, that's your character. That's you. You should be him. And I'm like, I never thought about that. Because I'm always making this dude super cool. But then I was like, I guess it was like an alter ego. And then, you know how that happens.
You mold yourself into what you want to become,
walk
right?
into it, yeah. And yeah, since then I was like, that was cool. And he's a cool dude, Eric. He did the college dropout art for Kanye West. So
oh wow.
So when he was giving me advice, I was serious. I was like, all right, yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
For sure, man. So you've got your fingers in multiple different honeypots.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of projects going on. What do you want to talk about first, I guess?
I guess the most relevant or the most current projects, I did recently release a project called Fall, which is on iTunes, and it's as part of a seasonal project I'm releasing called Fall into Winter, Spring into Summer. And Winter will be released in about 5 days. But these projects are instrumental albums, and every sound is made in that season since like 2009, and it's meant to activate your synesthesia. Like, you'll listen to it and you're like, you know, the samples that I choose, the textures, the sounds and sound effects, the drums I use, they're all for a reason, to kind of give you that, like, whoa, this feels like winter, or this is not like a summer fun beat, but it feels like a summer day, you know, like. So it kind of, the reason why I like to listen to songs during the seasons, you know. So I decided to share, you know, I have pieces I can share with folks. So Fall and Winter's out. Winter's coming out. Also, there's a project called Blueprint Cool, which will be available soon. I use the vocals of Jay-Z, my favorite vocals from like maybe 2003 to 2004 Jay-Z era, because I was like, Brooklyn went through what Portland's going through now as far as gentrification, and so I used Jay-Z's vocals over my production, and like kind of mix it around, like not like just keeping the same format. Some songs I'm like, yeah, like the H to the Izzo, but I like to just, you know, like, it's like art. So Jay-Z was my art subject for the moment, and that got a silent film I'm working on.
The fucking silent film sounds rad, man.
Silent film is.
I'm so excited about this.
It's pretty cool. It's Stargazer Escape from Planet X, and so I'm creating all the scores and the soundtrack for it. But also, like, just a little brief of the story. It's a sci-fi where yours truly plays Stargazer, and I am a part of a space federation of captains who bring peace throughout the galaxies. And so my character is in captain training because I'm so new. And, you know, like most rookie captains, you feel like, man, I'm not a rookie no more. So they're still treating me like a rookie. So I take a starship and I just take off. And I find Planet X, which is a planet full of and ruled by queens, and the goddess energy, the divine feminine. And so there's like 10% of the population I'm in, and they're all slaves, servants, and prisoners. And so I don't read that part. I just go, what? About
Women.
a planet full of women? And I'm like, of course. I go there, become imprisoned, and bum bum bum. What's next? You know. So it's a pretty interesting story. Like I got a really cool team. Portland Penthouse, which is like my buddy Josh Maynard, Tribe Movement, Diamond Ferguson, Diamond the artist. They're helping me with the production and direction and just getting the film all together. I got a crazy cast, like
Yeah.
makeup artists, talented makeup artists, actresses, models, a lot of people involved. So this is gonna be a really good project coming out. I'm not gonna give you no dates to promise, but coming out soon. It's just really a lot of hard work into it. But it's cool because it's like it takes my brain away from just making music and rhyming and singing, so I can just do something else. Like film direction is new. It's like new shoes. So I'm like, wow, people are calling me film director. I'm like, okay, gotta say be the part. I'm who you're talking about. So
Right on, man.
all that film studying and stuff.
And what's the score like for that movie?
Oh man, so the score is, I would say it's a little different. Like I was born in the 80s and raised in the 90s. So like our sci-fi movies were a lot better than the ones that come out now. And meaning like we had we had better stories, and so the music was really important. So like from I have some like 80s inspired pieces that are like how would you explain, kind of like Michael Jackson meets, you know, John Williams, and some Sun Ra inspired music, a little jazz inspired, but like modern drums. Some modern drums are like 808s are like, they sound like whales jumping from planet to planet. So I use like some drums are like good for the feeling, and I really want to capture like the royal part of the world. Like it's a tribal world full of queens, and so like the sounds are organic, and I like the sample too still. So I like the sample, like finding obscure sample records, songs to sample from always help. Or watching like an old Bollywood film, and then you're like, whoa, like what they're dancing to, like what makes the ladies dance, or what makes people feel. So like percussion, real percussion over like, you'll say like Cameo inspired synthesizer, SOS band inspired synthesizer, funk too, like funk, space funk, galactic funk, all that dust
Rad.
in my records. And so yeah, soundtrack is gonna be pretty cool. Like you're gonna want to wear your crazy shades. If you were born in the 90s, if you're born in the 2000s, you're gonna get to actually see and feel what it was like to be in the 80s, like the best time.
Right on. Is it gonna be black and white?
Because
Because it's a silent film.
Yeah, it's gonna be silent, but I think it's not really gonna be black and white. The editing is still like, we're still questioning whether like it's just a texture, like a certain texture that I want. It's like I want color, but like I want it to be soft, like not so black and white, but like almost black and white, but the colors are like faded out.
Like right when they made the switch from black and white to color television, like that kind of palette.
Yeah, just
Right
real
on.
powdery, real crazy, and then like the caption's gonna be pretty wild, and like we're gonna edit together, so it's gonna be like 4 minds, some great cameras, some great equipment we could use. Locations are dope and obscure, so we have like a forest scene that's gonna be pretty cool. I heard we get to have a snake and a wolf, probably. So,
Wow. Crazy.
yeah. So
I want to take a step back. What got you inspired to start making music?
really, it was my Uncle Johnny. That's where I got my name is Jonathan, but my Uncle Johnny, when I was about 19, he it was like a movie. You know, he was like he was passing away, but I think he knew. But he gave me his old computer. It was like an old Windows, old Dell, you know, some kind of PC. But he gave it to me, and it had Fruity Loops, it had Reason, it had all kind of programs on it. And he goes, you know, I know you're really into sports, but you should, you know, should check this out. Because by the time I was 18, I was hearing music differently. I was like, my, you say, my Sanders ear picked up, and I was hearing music differently. I was, so by the time my uncle gave me the computer with the programs in it, I was like, you know, I'll give it a try. You know, I like to listen to music so much. I know my dad made music, he made music, my mom did. I grew up with my mom's second husband. His son, Ray, was in like a popular Portland rap group. His relative, Cool Nuts, they're all like music around me. So I'm like, okay, it's all here. So, but what really made me do it was like the music, how it was hitting me, like the soul music. Like I would listen to Shy Lights, I would listen to a lot of soul records, like Harold Melvin. Then I turn around and listen to Pete Rock. Or I turn around and listen to Jay-Z album. I'm like, this stuff is in here. They use the same stuff, you know. So jumping right into it, I didn't go by making drums first. I started sampling. Like I was like, I want to learn how to take this song, this piece of song, and turn it into a full beat, you know. So I jumped right into sampling right away. And then I know my uncle, that's not probably not what he wanted me to do right away, because he was like a keyboardist, him and my dad. So, but it was like watching my friend Chase made beats. My friend Eric wanted to start making beats. So I was just like inspired already. And people used to always come up to me, because I was a kind of prep kid. And they used to be like, do you make beats? Because you look like you do. And I used to be like, yeah, I do. So I just kind of jumped into it, and it became my obsession pretty much, because I was obsessed. I'm still am. So like every moment I just was like hip to getting better, listening to like why does this producer like Just Blaze, how come his music is so clean and clear, his drums are perfect, and what am I doing different? So I just like listen, you know, quality wise, it was quality. Like my imagination could be anywhere, my mind could go, but as long as I knew how to edit, quantize my drums are the right way, you know, rhythm. And then it was just like, once I got past that, the quality was good. And then it was just like, dude, like your spaceship can fly, like go wherever you want to now. So, but yeah, that kind of, my uncle Johnny kind of inspired that, because I don't think without him giving me the computer, it would have came at a different time later, probably like now.
Too late.
Right. I would have just been like a music fan. But I got to talk to my dad. He said he was proud, because he's old school, so he's not really down with the technology. Like he doesn't know how to work I can't say he knows how to work a beat machine, but he's not like, he'd be the first one to say, you know, step away from that computer, you know, get behind a keyboard or an instrument. But I'm like, dude, this is like a new instrument. Mm-hmm. This is like, because you don't know how to use it like how I would. Like I can make people jam. I can make everybody dance with this, like just like you can with your keyboard, you know.
Well, you become a sound engineer when you get behind a keyboard, because you can make every single beat, every single sound exactly the way you want it to.
Yeah, and so I just started like really like self-taught, just how to get better. Even listening to pieces I did 4 years ago, and saying, okay, I was okay, you know. I learned so much between then. You know, what can I do to keep that piece or make it grow? And so like instrumental albums, that's like, they don't need words, because I'm like speaking all through it. Like I picked apart the sample, the song, you know, the drums, I picked out every sound, and it's just like my communication. If you like instrumentals, you'll speak my language, or I'll speak your language. I think I like rhyming too, so that kind of inspired me to make more music too, because I rhyme, I freestyle a lot, and so I end up kicking around.